So let's learn about shutter speed. I'm going to get my friend Jake here to do a bit of skateboarding for us, and we'll take a couple of different shots of him. First of all, we're going to take a shot around about 1/500th of a second to freeze the action. Then we're going to do another shot where we get some motion in the shot. So we'll get Jake going past, we'll shoot around 1/30th of a second, and we'll pan with the subject. So the subject will be frozen solid, but the background will be moving. And then we're going to get a shot of him coming through where we'll shoot stationary here at 1/30th of a second. So he'll be moving, but the background will be stationary. So let's get into it, Jake. So I'm shooting here on the TV mode. So let's start off with 1/500th of a second and we'll freeze him solid. So I've got 1/500th of a second. All right, Jake, let's go. Okay, great. Okay, excellent, that looks really good. Okay, for this next shot, I'm dialing 1/30th of a second and I'm going to pan with the subject. So we'll get the subject looking reasonably stationary and the background blurred. So invoke motion in the background. Let's go, Jake. Okay, excellent. Okay, for the next shot, I'm going to dial in 1/30th of a second, but I'm going to keep the camera stationary. So what we'll get from that is we'll get the subject moving, but the background stationary. Okay, for this next one, I'm going to really push the envelope and I'm going to do it 1/20th of a second. So let's see how this one comes up. All right, Jake, let's go. Oh, that's looking great. So there we go. 3 easy methods to learn and you get great results. Did you learn anything today, Jake? Once you have that perfect photo, then you need to store it. There are 3 main formats: JPEG, RAW, and TIFF files. Each one has its advantages and disadvantages. JPEG is the most common format people use. One of the biggest advantages is that it compresses image data, so you end up with a much smaller image file. It opens in PC and Mac, and it's instantly ready to use. The disadvantages are that JPEGs lose data each time they're saved, and the range of changes you can make in post is quite limited. Most professionals shoot in RAW. It's basically an unprocessed image, leaving you to process the image later in post. Advantages are RAW files have a much higher dynamic range than JPEGs and can be manipulated more easily, and the quality is much higher. Disadvantages are you need to process them before you can use them. The files are huge and many programs can't even open them. My advice is to shoot in both RAW and JPEG. You can have the best of both worlds. TIFF files are popular because they preserve 100% of the data when saved. Its disadvantage is that the files are huge. TIFF is usually used to enlarge and print photos. In summary, it's really a question of time. If you want an image ready, then go and shoot in JPEG. If you have the time to process the image, then shoot in RAW.